Enter, enter, enter. If this is how you go to the next page in Microsoft Word, stop right now. Word has page breaks and section breaks, and knowing the difference can save you a lot of formatting problems. Hello and welcome to Ben Academy. In this video, I show you why pressing enter too many times is wrong when to use a page break, and how section breaks let you change page numbers, page orientation, headers, and layout and margins of the page, all inside the same document or even in the same page of a document. Let's get started. It's a Word file including everything: header, footer, image, table, and everything. I want to describe all these options for you using this file. If you go to Layout tab of Microsoft Word, in the Page Setup section, you can see a breaks menu. If you open the breaks menu, you can see different items, different options. The first part is related to page breaks, and second part is related to section breaks. You can see there are three items related to page breaks. The first one is simply page break, and you can see that there is a description here. Mark the point at which one page ends and the next page begins. And with the icon, you can also understand that using the page break, you will go to the next page. So if I click on the end of a text, end of a paragraph like this, and use the break, page break, you can see that the rest of text is directed to the next page. And if I delete the previous enter that was used in the text, you can see that text is directed to the next page instead of using enter too many times. Let's undo the action and show you the difference. If you use enter, 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 enter many times, it's not a professional job. If you show the hidden characters, you can see that there are too many enters here. And if you add a text here, for example, let's copy it and paste it again, we can see that the enters are directed to the next page, and the beginning of next page is now damaged. But if you use Control Enter as a shortcut of page break, or use the same thing I showed you in the Layout tab, in the Page Setup section, and break page break, it doesn't happen anymore. Let's undo it and redo with Control Enter this time. You can use this option, or instead you can use Control Enter. There is no difference. So now you can see that in the hidden characters, you can only find one thing here, page break. And if you add a text here like this, you can see if you add more, you can see that page break is working and the next page is not damaged anymore. The next item I want to describe is column. It works only in the text that includes more than one column. This text is only one column text, and if you increase the number of columns, let's use 2 columns here. Actually, it needed some modifications in some cases for tables or anything, but let's assume that everything is okay. If you want to direct the rest of the text from here to the next column, you can use breaks column. You can see that here there's a column break, and the rest of the text is directed to the next column. Let's make it again one column text like this. And we can also hide the characters. Okay. The next option here is text wrapping, and it's related to the situation you have an image inside the text. Let's show you. Suppose it's the image you are working on. It depends on the wrap text option that you have used for the image. There are many items here for wrapping the text around the image, and that break works only for these 3 items: square, tight, and through. If you use a square, you can see that the text can be used in the sides of the image, and also with tight and through. I don't want to describe them because it's another topic to discuss about, but let's only say that if these 3 items is used for the text and you want to use text around your image, you can use text wrapping break here. Suppose you have used image in one side and you want to move the formulas on the bottom of the image. In this case, if you use breaks and text wrapping, you will see that the rest of the text that was in the side of the image is moved to the bottom of the image. You can also move all the text that are used in the side of the image, and you can arrange your text to be in the top and bottom of the image, not in the side of the image. But you can use it to make some part in the side and some of the part in the bottom. The other options are section breaks. Let's discuss the difference between page breaks and section breaks. In the page breaks, if you are using page break, column break, or text wrapping, you are only adjusting your text without changing anything. The format of the text is the same, the margins of the page is the same, the header, footer, page number, and orientation of the page will not be changed if you use page breaks. It doesn't matter you're using page break, column break, or text wrapping. Everything will be constant and nothing will be changed. But in the section break, you can start a new chapter in your text. You can use different format. You can use different orientation, different page number format or header or anything can be changed inside one document. I'll show you. If you use, for example, break here. Yes, I want to separate this part from the next part. If you use section break and use the next page, in the first site, it seems to be the same page break because it's moved to the next page, but actually it's not simply page break. And you can change whatever you like. You can, for example, change the header. If it's a new chapter, you can write a different title here in your header, but pay attention that you should remove this option, link to previous. If you don't remove it, if you change the title of the header here, the title of header in the previous section will be also changed. So remove the link to previous option here. And if you write another thing like part 2, you can also write something else everywhere you want. You can design a new header totally. But now I only changed something to show the differences. If you close the header and footer, you can see that previous header is the same header we used before, but in the next page, after break, a new header is used. We can also change the page number. In the new section, you can right-click on the page number and use format page number. By default, it continues from previous section. You can see that it's 20, but if you start it from 1 and OK, you can see that it's now page 1, page 2. But if you go back to the previous section, you can see that it's the same page numbers it had before. You can also change the format and everything, margins of the document. If you use less margin from the right side or from the left side, you can see that it's only applied for section 2. And if you go back to section 1, you can see that it's still the same margins that it had before. You can also change other things here. For example, in section 2, you can change the orientation. If you go to layout and make it landscape, you can see that the section 2 are oriented as landscape, but in section 1, the pages are still in portrait orientation. It's very practical and very useful. If you have a very wide table, you can create a section break before table and also after table and make the orientation of page as landscape and place your table in that page so you can make it more visible in a document. And you can also change everything. You can change the layout of the text. So it's completely independent of the previous section, but they are all located in same document. So it's very practical in many cases. The other break that we have is continuous. In the continuous section break, it's exactly similar to next page section break, but it will not direct the page to the next page. So it's a very interesting case, and you can change everything in the same page. For example, if you use a section break with next item continuous, you can see that here is the next section. And now if I change the margins, you can see only the next section has the different margins here. It's very practical in the cases you want to change the number of columns in single page. For example, you have a document with 2 columns and you want to write your text in 1 column only in a specific part of the page, not in the whole page or in the whole document. So for example, if we go back to the section 1 that was oriented in the portrait orientation, if I add a section break like a continuous section break and write something here, and again use another continuous section break here, if we show the hidden characters here, you can see that this part is separated from the previous one, and also this part is separated from the middle part. Here, if you change the number of columns in the layout tab, you can see that only this part is changed, and the other parts, previous part and the next part, are the same as it was defined previously. So it's very useful to separate a part like this and use the different format. You can also change other things inside the page. You can also change the margins. You can change other things related to formatting. But usually, especially, this is very useful in this case. Another application of this continuous section break is to place a wide table in the document that is written in 2 columns. For example, if I add a table here, let's insert it here. It contains 10 columns, and if you write something in the table, you can see that it cannot be located, it cannot be placed in only 1 column of the text. So it's necessary to use a section break here. And if I use a continuous section break like this before the table and also after the table, now if I change the columns of this part, you can see that it's located in 1 column. So I can make it wider. So in the middle of the text that was written in 2 columns, I could insert a 1 column section to place my wide table. The next break is even page, and the other one is odd page. These are also similar to next page. These will move your text to the next page, but to the next even page and next odd page. So you will leave 1 empty page, 1 blank page in this way. In some publications, especially in the books, it's routine to start the first page of a chapter from odd page or even page. So in this case, you can use it and you can leave a blank page and start your chapter from the even page or odd page, depending on the regulations of the publication. To show the differences, let's first undo the breaks I did in this page. Okay, now you can see that this page is an odd page. This is page 9, and if I use the breaks to the next odd page, you can see that it went to page 11. So page 10 is left blank. You can see that there is page 9. There's no page 10, and after that we can see that there is a page 11 here. And if you use, for example, next even page, after an odd page, you can see that it's moved to page 10. So it's similar to page break next page in this way. But you may add some text previous that odd page section break. So in this way, you are sure that the first page of your chapter will be start from an odd page instead of an even page, or vice versa, depending on the regulations of the publication. So pay attention that what you really want to do. If you want to change the formats, change the orientation, change the page number or everything, page break will not work for you. You should use section breaks. Depending on the situation of your document, if it's 1 column, 2 column, you want to change the columns, you want to move to the next column, or you want to change and move to next page, or you want to start from even or odd page, you can use different options of section break. In other cases, if you don't want to change anything and you only want to arrange your text and make it cleaner and send your documents to the next page or next column without changing anything, without changing format or any other things I mentioned, you can use page breaks. I hope this video was useful for you, and thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe to support our channel. See you.